What's your favorite barbecue sauce? For me, it's a tie between these three: Alabama white sauce, Carolina Gold, and Mambo sauce from DC. And these sauces are totally versatile. They are super good on just about anything: burgers, hot dogs, sandwiches, you name it. Now, being from California, these sauces are relatively new to me and are less common than the typical Texas-style barbecue sauce we all know and love. But I do dig all three of these just as much and maybe more. And these are just my take on a few recipes that I'll link to in the comments, but just as I've done, feel free to customize to your heart's content. First up is probably my favorite, the Alabama white sauce, and this is a mayo-based sauce from, you guessed it, Alabama. Now, it's traditionally put on chicken, but like I said, you can put this on just about anything, so naturally, we'll start off with 1 3/4 cup of vegan mayo, a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. You can use more for more zip if you like. And then we'll do 1 heaping tablespoon of prepared horseradish. Make sure it's not the creamy sauce stuff. And then about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, a whole bunch of black pepper, salt to taste. I'm starting off with 1/2 teaspoon, and then 1 teaspoon of garlic granules, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of vegan Worcestershire, and then whisk that up, and then always taste for seasoning and adjust as needed. Now, of course, you could store these in mason jars, but I'm a squeeze bottle fan. Only problem was my horseradish was so chunky it clogged up the bottle. So I went ahead and blended it up, and I gotta say, not only did it make it smoother, but the flavors melded and the sauce was more emulsified as well, so that is an option. And like I've said twice already, you can literally put this on just about anything, even some roasted veggies, really whatever you want. It's super tangy and zippy and just kind of my favorite thing right now. And next up is Carolina Gold, which hails from South Carolina, and this is a mustard-based sauce, but it's got a bit of sugar in it too to round out the vinegar of the mustard. I like this version by Trader Joe's, but I found it to be a little bit too sweet, so I'm aiming to make mine in the same vein, but with a bit more zip to it. So to a saucepan, we'll add 1 cup of yellow mustard as well as a whole cup of sugar. And if you think that's a lot, the Trader Joe's stuff actually lists sugar before the mustard. But next we'll do a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of vegan Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of good old ketchup, a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic and onion granules, some black pepper, a pinch of salt. I'm also going to do a 1/4 cup of hot sauce. And then next we'll get that saucepan over medium heat flame, and then remember we forgot to add a few drops of liquid smoke, so we'll do that and whisk that in. And basically all we need to do now is whisk this over medium heat for about 5 minutes or so to melt that sugar and get the flavors to meld a bit, and then lower the heat if it gets too bubbly. But either way, after that we'll go ahead and add that to a mason jar as well and let it cool and just let the flavors mosh together and get super dang good. And my favorite application for this sort of sauce is with some vegan chicken, whether it be on a sandwich or a chicken nugget. And I taste tested it against the Trader Joe's, and theirs is pretty good, but mine was less sweet, and I feel like a good contender for sure. So if you're a fan of mustard and barbecue, definitely try this one out. Okay, last but not least is Mambo sauce from Washington, D.C., and I recently found out about this stuff, and it's some of the best sauce I've ever had. I'm not sure if it technically is a barbecue sauce, but I know it's used on barbecue, and folks put it on everything. I've even seen it on Chinese takeout. It's kind of sweet and sour and spicy, and it's just amazing. In fact, having it on this plate of fried rice was probably my favorite thing in this video. It's also incredibly easy to put together, so to a saucepan we'll add in 1 cup of ketchup, 3/4 cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of hot sauce, 3 tablespoons of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce or tamari, a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, and then, just like with the Carolina Gold, we're simply going to bring this up to a simmer and melt down those sugars and thicken the sauce just a little bit. And then we're going to store that in a mason jar or a squirt bottle, whatever you like. And now you have some of the best sauces you ever did see. And like I've said multiple times, these are just super good on just about anything. And in fact, the tang of the Alabama sauce melds perfectly with the sweetness of the Mambo sauce. So definitely try them together. I really dug them both on this bowl of mac and cheese. And honestly, the Brussels sprouts with the white sauce, holy moly, was that good. And if you're like me and can't decide on which one to try, then maybe try all 3 on a hot dog like this, which is perfect for the undecisive wiener lover like myself. Also, if you're planning on grilling soon, check out my barbecue burger video to avoid making some common mistakes and enjoy these sauces on a proper backyard burger. And until then, I'll see you all next time.